Só pra te ver.
Terezinha!
Oi! How's it going, everyone? I'm here, Paulo Presoto, back with another Tamo Junto SF, community media highlighting Brazilian and world music around the globe. My guest today is the host for Global Ginga KZSU 90.1 FM Stanford, Brazilian and world music. Don't go anywhere. We're starting the show with this track called Music is My Ammunition by Afro Fiesta and Playing for Change. We'll be right back with my friend Carla Leininger from Global Ginga.
Up in the building. Rubber dub.
Let's do this, guys.
I see music is my ammunition. I fire down Babylon. Imprisonment, poverty, and Babylon system. We've been suffering all this time. All this time. I and I keep on chanting down till our children we face front of that line. I've gotta say, songs of my ancestors still ricochet through the wind, and the smoke is rising through the words I see. Music is my ammunition. I fire down Babylon. The songs of my ancestors still through the wind, and the smoke is rising through the words I see. Music is my ammunition. I fire down Babylon.
Through music, people, through music, unite. We can get there. Salve Brasil!
The truth and honesty will free our hearts and free our minds. Free our minds. So down our children, down deep together as one till the end of time. I'm gonna say the songs of my ancestors still ricochet through the wind, and the smoke is rising through the words I see. Music is my ammunition. I fire down Babylon. The songs of my ancestors still ricochet through the wind, and the smoke is rising through the words I see. Music is my ammunition. I fire down Babylon.
How are you? Music is My Ammunition by Afro Fiesta and Playing for Change. Guys, it's a pleasure for me to bring this amazing lady to share stories with us here. I would like to introduce you, if you don't already know her. Here's Carla Leininger, everyone. Tudo bem?
E aí, galerinha, vamos balançar pouquinho?
It's so freaking hot, isn't it?
It is hot and it's smoky. We feel like
I know.
barbecue.
Oh man, how are you actually in the South Bay, right? What town?
Mountain View, Silicon Valley. Hello, everybody. Welcome
Wow,
to
the
the show
heart,
today. Happy to
the
be with
heart
you.
of the Silicon Valley, huh? And you know DJ Allen?
Do not.
She used to host a Brazilian monthly night downtown Mountain View.
Oh, at
About
Oppo. Is it the Oppo Club? I
yes,
heard.
it was so fun. Mountain View was booming, like Saturday night, Brazilian vibes, and she always played a great set with live drumming and stuff. And how do you feel the Brazilianity down there in the South Bay these days? It's been 2 years you've been in the Bay.
Yeah, I've been in the Bay all this time in Mountain View. Not a whole lot happening here. Once in a while, there was something Brazilian at an Italian restaurant in Palo Alto. But for me, typically, either I go to San Francisco or I go to Santa Cruz,
Oh
Sambada.
yeah, man, Santa Cruz. We actually sending loving vibes and prayers to our friends that are facing some fire these days down in Santa Cruz. I hope you're doing okay. On top of everything, it's like fire season in California.
Yeah, we
Uh,
have, it's like you look one way, it's COVID. You look another way, it's heat. And then you look another way, it's smoke.
that's why I'm locked up here in
That's
my
okay
room with pink
music.
light on the back.
We need music to cheer everyone up.
Absolutely. Speaking of music, well, we heard this first track called "Music Is My Ammunition," Afro Fiesta. Tell me about Afro Fiesta. I know about Playing for Change. They released those awesome videos with folks from around the world, and what's the deal with Afro Fiesta?
Afro Fiesta is branched out from Playing for Change. So some of the musicians from Congo, they started Afro Fiesta. So it's basically what it is. It's music, partying through music, but they put a lot of focus on the music from Congo. Where Playing for Change is the bigger movement, and it's street musicians. So that's how they started with the song Stand By Me. And they capture all these street musicians from all over the world, and they do different videos, different covers. So then they started the band Playing for Change. So it started as a documentary, actually. So now they have the band, and I saw them in Cleveland. I saw them in Pittsburgh. I haven't seen them in the Bay Area, but I got to interview them on Global Ginga a few weeks ago. And
Oh,
if you
that's
have a chance to
nice.
listen to them, Playing for Change, really great music. And then Afro Fiesta. So the song that we heard, Music Is My Ammunition, it's actually played by both Afro Fiesta and Playing for Change. And yeah, so join the movement. Peace through music. That's
Really
what it's
beautiful
all about,
project. If you
right?
haven't seen, please go check that out. Playing for Change, Afro Fiesta. And well, before moving to the Bay Area, you were in the Pittsburgh area for 19 years. How long ago did you move to the States and where are you from?
I'm from Brasilia, the capital of Brazil. My family's from Rio, so they migrated to Brasilia many, many years ago. My brother was born in Rio, but I was born in Brasilia. And then when I was a teenager, my mom moved to the US. She got a scholarship to get her master's and PhD. So she got the master's at the University of Pittsburgh. Then we moved to the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign. And so I ended up staying in the US, and then my mother ended up moving back to Brazil, but retired and moved to the Bay Area. So I've been coming to the Bay Area for many years, but
So your mom lives in the Bay Area also.
yeah, my mom is here. She's been sick, which is one of the reasons why I moved to the Bay Area, so I could spend time with her and help take care of her. And so now I'm enjoying the Bay Area, and I had this radio show in Pittsburgh for many years. It was called Cantinho Brasileiro no Rádio.
Nice, very
And
cute
yeah,
name. Like the
and I
Brazilian
loved
little
it.
corner on the radio. Very, very
Oh,
cool.
it was fun because I considered it to be a channel of communications of the Brazilian community. So it wasn't just about me. I started it and I hosted it. I carried it on, but I had a lot of members from the Brazilian community that rotated. So it wasn't always me. So we would have 1 hour of Brazilian music. And with that, I started collaborating with a lot of organizations, arts organizations, ethnic, professional, you name it. We were partnering with everybody, and I was exposed to a lot of music at the radio station, Carnegie Mellon University. WRCT. So seeing that library, and I started listening to all these sounds, and I was just fascinated. And I said, why aren't people listening to this music? Why isn't it out there? So I went to
Somebody needs to almost push it, like, come on, people, listen to this.
yeah, I mean, you know, commercial music all the time, and there's such great music that you can listen to. It's not necessarily
Absolutely,
English,
and you know, for that reason, we're really happy you moved to the Bay Area. I've been a guest in your show down there in Stanford. Just so fun. Like, we got to chat about forró and talk about the up and coming shows, which you already have indeed established now a new channel for the Brazilian community, not only in the South Bay but in the San Francisco area. How do you feel the transition between the station you worked in Pittsburgh and Stanford?
Technology, I love the technology. Everything, there's more technology. There's more support. There's more of an infrastructure here at KZSU than Carnegie Mellon's WRCT. So I really like that. Like, for example, the training program was very structured. It was a weekend, Saturday, Sunday, I had to attend. So they had everything very structured to go through the program. And there are so many venues doing music here. It's been challenging for me because I usually try to promote people who are coming to play here. And there are so many venues, so many people are coming that 1 hour just isn't enough. And so my preference is to have 2 hours so I can play everything and promote the shows and partner with the venues, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to add. I like to say that eu tô aqui para somar, não para dividir.
Absolutely, man. It's all about addition.
Right?
Yeah.
So I want to support all these venues that are bringing these amazing artists to the Bay Area.
Well, now everything is on pause because you know what's going on. We'll talk COVID in a little bit, but before we dive into the COVID conversation that everyone's having, I would like to talk about this amazing band based in New York. Matuto, which, if you don't know, the word in Portuguese means like, what is your definition of matuto actually? What do you say?
Oh, actually, they have, I forget how they translate it. It's kind of like a country boy. I'll have to get back to you.
Yeah. I can feel it, matuto. But it's a smart country boy, very smart.
Right.
You know, it's got the ways. Yeah,
there's an exact translation, so I have to look that up when we do the pause.
And
but
they're really great. Where'd you hear them first?
You know, I think New York, like the Bay Area, is so diverse in music, and you have people from different places, different countries. And I like to say that New York is its own genre.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, New York is a genre. And all these people from these different places in the world are playing together and creating music. And so I started with Nation Beat, and then brought Nation Beat to Pittsburgh a few times. And then
I love Nation Beat, by the way. We're going to play them tonight.
They share musicians, so they start talking to each other. And then Matuto came on my radar, and they are absolutely amazing. They packed the house in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we saw them here in Berkeley. At the Freight and Savage, we met Clay Ross. Rob Curto came to play some accordion on our forró night. It was so fun. Well, let's listen to what we're talking about so we don't lose all the references. I would like to play Matuto Chant. And then on our way back, we'll talk more about the Brazilian music in the West versus the Brazilian music in the East. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Carla Leininger in the house, everybody.
Left to play. I've still got some things to say. our love, there's nothing you and I can do. You'll carry me, I'll carry you. There's always somewhere else to be, always something else to do. Here and now is all we've got, you see. There's nothing that could be more true. Now's the time, it's all brand new. Now's the time for me and you. Now's the time for more important things. Now's the time for us to sing.
É isso aí, rapaziada. Voltamos já, minha gente, porque o calor tá matando. Carlinha, você tá aí?
Voltei.
Cool. I would like to ask you, after those 19 years in Pittsburgh, and your like connection being more on the east side there, and experiencing the San Francisco, California scene for Brazilian music, what are the similarities and differences, and what do you? Well, you mentioned that New York is it's its own thing, right? It's
I consider New York a genre.
yeah, and
I play New York.
and it's too bad that San Francisco. I don't think San Francisco actually fits in that category because we're living the big San Francisco exodus, and things are getting weird. And there's more Brazilian presence in LA. I just have to say it. Sorry, guys, if you're gonna throw rocks at me, but it's just what I see. How do you see it?
Well, for me, the community here is so big, and part of the problem is that we're very isolated from each other. So it's hard to work together. And, you know, this whole driving thing that people don't like to do. So you end up having these pockets, and it's really hard to support. At least when I was looking at the venues, talking to venues, they were like, oh, but you're in the South Bay and people are not going to come to Oakland. People are not going to come to Berkeley. I don't know about people, but I go everywhere. I have no problem getting on the highway and driving to Berkeley and driving to Oakland. And if I'm going to have a good time, I don't have a problem with that. So
Right.
I think that's the problem that I've been finding. It's, you know, the pockets, they're very distant. So we can't create that critical mass to really have
Right.
an impact.
It is real though that in San Francisco, the like I want to say the Mission District kind of scene where most of the Brazilian players and the enthusiasts of Brazilian live music, they get together, they go to venues. They don't really go out and drive to either, sometimes not even the East Bay. Now Oakland is ruling the Bay Area. So as far as, you know, spaces and musicians and the scene, so we have to go to Oakland. There's no way. I'm in San Francisco, and of course now, you know, coronavirus chapter is a completely different universe, and God knows what's going to happen. But I was feeling like in Oakland, for example, there is Maracatu Pacífico, the Space of Capoeira de Angola, Oakland Samba Review.
I love them. They actually played here in Sunnyvale. It was an amazing show.
They
I
did,
loved it.
yes. And you know what? They're going to be playing
they
their
did.
first live. Their first live is this Saturday. Brian Moore and Katja Lund and Oakland Samba Review. Please patronize them. And they're going to be also part of Lavagem 2020. Have you ever been to a Lavagem?
I have not in Brazil, not here, not anywhere.
Oh, it's such an interesting ceremony, you know, and if you're listening to this right now, it happens on September the 6th. The Cultural Center in Berkeley, Brazarte, will put together. We'll put together all these different bands, and they're all gonna go live. I'll be kind of hosting and connecting the different lives and putting them on the air. And Dona Conceição Damasceno, which is our representative, such a oh my gosh, so knowledgeable and such an incredible presence. She'll be leading the lavagem ceremony, which is this Afro-Brazilian celebration of passage, of renewal, the new year sort of thing. Anyways.
Yeah, I was there right before COVID. There was, I think it was some carnival thing there, and I went. It was pretty empty though. And I met her, and she was super nice. We spent a lot of time talking to each other. Everyone has been extremely nice.
Yeah, and it is a thing. We do have to acknowledge that San Francisco, as a scene, has suffered from gentrification, from the closing of various small venues. Now COVID. By the way, if you're listening to this, go and visit Save Our Stages. The hashtag Save Our Stages. It's an initiative that's going through the Senate right now, of a fund of about $10 billion to save independent venues and stages around the country, and we totally need that. You have stories with folks that you bring from Brazil to travel in the U.S., huh? What artists have you worked with?
I have a lot of stories. It's been really interesting, not only doing interviews on the radio with them, but some of them came. You have to understand, Pittsburgh is not a very big city, and it's not a very diverse international town. So what makes it interesting is that I find that a lot of the people in Pittsburgh, because we don't have a lot of diversity, the Americans there, they're very thirsty for diversity. So some of the events, we can't depend on the Brazilian population in Pittsburgh because it's very small. A lot of people just go to school, get their graduate studies. They're busy, or families, they can't go out at night. So we present a lot of things to Americans. So one of my biggest moments was presenting Gilberto Gil. Gilberto Gil came to the heart of the city, one of our biggest theaters. And I asked if I could introduce him. I thought it would be such a great honor. And they allowed me, the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust. I had a good relationship with them. And I asked if I could do it in 2 languages, Portuguese and English. And they allowed me. I had to present what I was going to say. They had to approve it, but they allowed me. So when I was backstage and I get in my focus zone, like you, Paolo, when before everything keeps going, you're going through everything. So don't talk to me during that time when I'm in my zone. So I'm in my zone backstage, and I was very nervous because it's Rebecca Shit. And I see like a group of people, and I could tell it was them, the musician, the wife, and they approached me, and here, she wanted to know if she could have an onion.
An onion. Okay. Last minute request right before entering the show.
Am I going to be able to do this? Blah, blah, blah. And she comes and she says, do you think you can get an onion? Because, I make this microbiotic soup for him backstage, because otherwise he's going to get very fat on the tour, blah, blah, blah. And I found everything except an onion.
Oh, no way.
I literally started laughing because at that moment, I was so nervous because it was Gilberto Gil. And I was like, everybody eats onions, including Gilberto Gil. Why am I so nervous?
Absolutely. No, and that's amazing that he requests for that, it's very Gil of him. It's like, is everybody stressed out? Oh, hold on a second. Let me get you some soup.
So I said, fortunately, I knew a guy that owned a restaurant right behind the theater because it's downtown.
Oh my God, I'm losing my headphones here.
And so I said, okay, let me introduce him. Let me get the show going, and then I'll go to my friend's restaurant and I'll get an onion. And so that's what I did.
You
So
made
at the end
it.
of the show, they gave me all the leftover vegetables. She said, Carla, thank you so much. It was so nice of you. I want to give you the leftover vegetables, and I have an autographed DVD for you as a.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, Gilberto Gil
So I have
being
a picture of
you.
all the vegetables from Gilberto Gil's soup.
That's so cool, man. I can't wait for everything to whatever happens next, that it happens. Because I want to see a live concert, with other people. And it's not about like just going to see the concert, but connecting. It's like our brain waves when we're in an audience together, all those people vibrating on the same music, the same visuals. We really need that.
One
Well,
band
you
that we all enjoyed a lot, and I had never heard of them. I don't know if you have, and I'm not sure if they're still together. Have you heard of the Mosquitoes?
No, I have not. Who are the mosquitoes?
Mosquitoes, they're from New York also. They were actually on a commercial at the time. I can't remember if it was a Coke commercial or one of their songs was on a big commercial. And they came to Pittsburgh, and it was such a lovely surprise, such a great band. She said she wasn't a singer, but she met this guy, her American boyfriend, thought that she could sing, and so she started rehearsing. And they have a really good sound, like if you like bossa nova. It's very acoustic, very very mellow, and she has a very sweet.
Yeah, I dig the acoustic mellow bossa nova stuff, but I have to confess it's not really my style. I'm into the heavy drumming. I'm into nation beat. From New York as well. We're gonna actually dive into one of the sounds. I'm into maracatu. I'm into the intensity of the tambores. I enjoy it. I'll go out for a drink and have some bossa nova on the background. But when I want to go rock it out, man, I want to play this kind of stuff. Nation beat, maré cheia. Can we play music and we'll be right back?
Let's go, Nation Beat in
Let's
the house.
go, people. Atenção, você que tá aí, ó. Tamo junto, SF. Tamo falando inglês porque é a língua dos homens e das mulheres, e das crianças, e de quem estiver também fazendo essa participação especial na terra do Tio Sam, viu? A gente tem que apertar os botõezinhos certos. Do not go anywhere. This is Maré Cheia, Nation Beat from New York City, playing Brazilian music at Tamo Junto SF. Our special guest,
Com os pés na areia,
Carla Leininger.
levo a vida a cirandar. Coração tá batucando de saudade, de amor. A lua branca beija suave o mar. As estrelas no céu prata brilham a te procurar. Nessa pisada, a maré cheia balança, molha meu rosto e a brisa vem secar. Os pés cansados têm a esperança, eles têm a esperança de um dia te encontrar.
Steh auf dem Brettsam, hör das Leben Zirandar und das trölige Herz meins klappt den Takt und Liebe zahl. Die blasse Wonne, heu sie glätt im schwarzen Jahr und die fieberische Sterne suchen neues dein süßen Tag.
Heróis del bosque, de Caiclen, de Quepayes, aber en Vintum, de quien tois mainais geset, die Vogel fix,
É, rapaziada, já voltamos, né? You know that the rhythm of lives and how broadcasting has become an essential item on everyone's everyday lists now. It's a real thing. And to how are you adapting with your radio show? Because I know KZSU 90.1 FM in Stanford also went completely remote, right? And your show that used to happen from that nice cozy studio in the campus, it's now being produced from home. How are you now diving into the new technologies?
I am not liking it, guys. I miss people. I see. This is what I miss. I miss engaging with people. So overnight, we had to start producing our shows from home, and we weren't ready. We didn't have the equipment. We didn't have the hardware, the software. You know, in the beginning, I had to watch videos on YouTube and try to figure out what software do I use and hardware. What do I buy? And it was overwhelming. And I don't even know what keeps me going, because it's kind of like the host the late night shows that they don't have an audience, so nobody's laughing with them and clapping and that kind of thing.
I know. That's why I have claps here on my, because I even have that air horn. Look,
Downloaded some of my songs.
I have to have that stuff because you know sometimes it feels just like every show I have a guest, so that's a good thing. So we're always like ping pong.
Yeah, so
And
that's what I started doing. I said, you know, I can do interviews now. I have time. Unfortunately, I lost my my permanent job as a recruiter. So now I
right.
have more time, and so I've been bringing some guests. Playing for Change was a guest not too long ago. Cel, the cantora Cel Paulista.
I
And
know. Yeah, Sal went to your show. I love her.
was
She's so
such a
cool.
big star in the world music circuit. She's so big, and it was such a great interview. She was so good to talk to, and she speaks English, so we did it in English. So I've been doing I interviewed Dan Storper. He's the founder of the Putumayo World Music label, and I play a lot of Putumayo, and we've been in touch, and we've partnered on several occasions. So I actually got the opportunity to sit with him for like 30 minutes and say, who are you? How did you start? And all that. So from that angle, it's been good. So the people person has been coming from the interviews, but when I'm recording my show, it's actually very boring.
Well, I'll send you some clapping and tracks that you can. You know, it's one of those things we have to adapt. Well, speaking of adapting, I wanna. Well, I don't know why I try to relate with speaking of adapting, but I just want to give somebody a prize. Here's Randy Artiaga watching from Manila. Wow, tamo junto in the Philippines. How are you, Randy? I want to say hi to Lilian Puga that just joined us. Leo França directly from Piracicaba. My friend Chris Brown that it's probably missing a lot of stage action these days because I'm a stage worker, you know that, and there's no stages. Oh my god! But anyways, I would like to know if there's anyone here live with us that is from the Santa Cruz area, because if you're in Santa Cruz, I have a prize for you. Yes, our partner Samba Rock Açaí is giving away via Tamo Junto one açaí, Samba Rock Açaí Café. They produce the most delicious and nutritious açaí bowl of Santa Cruz. And how did you get açaí in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania?
That's Samba. Is it Samba Dom? Samba Song? That place.
Samba Zone.
Everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Good. Because seriously, I don't know if it's just me. Oh, our live video got interrupted. I wonder why. I wonder why. What happened there? I wonder if somebody just dropped us, or if we're back. No, we're back. We're here. All right. I don't know what happened, but we're back.
Okay.
Sorry. Uh, Anyways, I would like to play a next tune to get us out of this confusion here. I want to
Wait, does
play.
the giveaway, somebody has to request the giveaway from Santa
Yeah,
Cruz?
if you're live here with us and you're in the Santa Cruz area, please put your name on the comments, and I'm gonna ask you the big question of the day, and I'm gonna ask you to call me because I have my phone here. I use this awesome LED app.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it works. But I want to jump into the next sound. Luna Negra, Uproot Andy. Who's Uproot Andy?
You know, I'm very, my second choice in music besides Brazilian is always my top. My second choice is Colombian music. I love Colombian music. Would love to go to Colombia and just go to a lot of concerts and then just do a music place. Cabo Verde is another place that I would love to go on a music tour sometime. But Uproot Andy, he's a DJ from New York, and he's American, but he likes Colombian music, and not just Colombia. He uses music from around the world, but he definitely has a lot of Colombian. So he uses the very authentic, original, folkloric sounds of Colombian music, and he mixes it up, and you get a new sound. I went to a party he held in Pittsburgh as a DJ, and it was amazing. So I am asking that you play this song so we can share with the audience and see what everybody thinks of Colombian music. So this is a remake. Every country has a band that takes the original, the authentic, folkloric or more grassroots music, and then mixes it up and makes it more electronica, house kind of thing, right? In Brazil,
Which is a blessing. I feel. Yeah, I feel like a friend of mine once told me, man, if you don't mix up traditional music with contemporary elements, you're not doing anyone a favor. It's like we have to keep recycling music to make it relevant, to make it present, and
I like Bossa Cuca Nova for that. In fact, I think I'm going to be interviewing them soon. So this DJ, he does that, but as a DJ. So let's check it out, see what everybody thinks of this.
Absolutely. Uproot Andy, Luna Negra. We'll be right back with more Carla Leininger at Tamo Junto SF. just heard Luna Negra from Uproot Andy from Los Cojolites. Tell me more about Uproot Andy and his cumbia influences there.
Yeah, so he does a lot of cumbia, obviously, because cumbia is Colombian. Although when you're from the Bay Area, you hear a lot of Mexican cumbia. That's what
Oh, there's cumbia everywhere in Latin America these days.
When I DJ, I find a lot of people wanting cumbia because of the heavy Mexican influence. But he uses cumbia, and he uses other traditional African rhythms as well and mixes them up. So if you like that sort of thing, definitely look up Uproot Andy. I don't know if you ever mix it to the West Coast. Who would be the equivalent of someone like that here as a DJ?
I want to throw the ball, but not necessarily a cumbia guy. Well, there is one guy that does actually many different styles, but Mr. Gordo Cabeza, DJ Gordo Cabeza, he does the Motown on Mondays. It's one of his parties, but he does many different styles, and cumbia is indeed very present in the Bay. I can't remember the name of the one cumbia band that I love from here. Anyways, but what I like to actually ask you as a Brazilian DJ on the radio and dealing with the taste of world music versus Brazilian, there's something to be said about the fact that in the US we are still not able to classify Brazilian music as we do in Brazil, like forró, samba, maracatu, this and that, and they end up putting everyone in this big like world music bag, and that also happens to Latin American, cumbia and corrido and other things in Latin America that end up in the same world music bucket. How do you feel the Latin American community relates to Brazilian music versus how Brazilians relate to Latin American music?
I've noticed that when I have gone to Latin events, I don't see a lot of Brazilians. And when I go to Brazilian events, I don't see a lot of Latinos. And I'm not sure why that happens. That doesn't seem right. So I feel that it's the promotion, it's the marketing, and what people need to do more is cross-promote. Because Brazilians tend to like Latin music, and in my experience in Pittsburgh, Latinos love Brazilian music. But I don't know if it's because here there are such large pockets of each population that people can be in a position to not go to an event because there are so many happening. But definitely more isolated. I went to see Juanes, I went to see Fonseca, they're Colombian, Amigos Invisibles.
I love Amigos Invisibles. They're so awesome.
They're fun. And so mostly, like in those shows, Colombian, the Mexicans, they show up a lot too, but the Brazilians definitely not. And then when I go to Brazilian shows, it's the same.
Interesting. And we've been actually doing that with the forró scene a little bit because forró has the partner dance attached to it. So we do promote in the salsa parties, in the bachata parties, and folks are starting to cross over. And there's a growing scene of Brazilian zouk. It's this Caribbean partner dance to electronic music and pop ballads.
Yeah.
It's everywhere, this thing, man. People are all over it.
Events. I've heard some songs. I've been on some playlists on Spotify for zouk. I met a guy that danced that, so I started searching.
Well, the urban myth is. Yeah, the urban myth is that it got originated from lambada. Like lambada is like the mother of Zouk. But well, I got Julio here from Guaratinguetá asking you a question. He's
Here.
asking if you have a particular reference that influenced you. How did you? Well, your mom's Brazilian, your family's Brazilian, so there was a lot of like Brazilian music in the house. Or what kind of style your parents listened to?
We listened to a lot of samba. Samba was really big. And I see the sun is hitting me here. Super hard, no. Samba. Música popular brasileira também. Gal Costa, Maria Bethânia. Domingo lá em casa era dia de Roberto Carlos.
Oh, Roberto Carlos, every Christmas, every Christmas. Sometimes I had to fight my aunties because it was like Christmas Eve. Me and my cousins were everywhere, everyone in the living room playing video games, and they wanted to stop our video game to watch the freaking Roberto Carlos live on Christmas Eve.
Watch it for you. If I have a chance to watch it, I'll watch it. It brings me childhood memories. But I say samba. I love samba. Eu adoro samba. Eu sou sambista. Eu sou feliz sambando. Samba tá sempre no meu programa de rádio e isso nunca vai mudar.
That's very cool. Let me ask you this COVID question here, because Tamo Junto SF, it's a product of the pandemic. We were on our episode 81, believe it or not, 81, and we just started connecting with friends to, you know, kill boredom and to connect. That's literally Tamo Junto in Portuguese means we're together here in SF. And besides all the negative aspects of the pandemic, economically, our friends, events, careers that were put on pause, schools and everything. There's always a good side of everything, right? And for you, this, you know, isolation time and quarantine, what's been good?
I think it definitely gave me an opportunity to enhance the radio show, to do these interviews like you with artists that before I didn't have the time. I didn't want to make the effort to do it. I was also working full time, and now I created a website for Global Ginga, globalginga.com. So I'm uploading the video, or not the video, well, the videos too. I created a YouTube channel for Global Ginga, so we have videos there. And so I really accelerated with Global Ginga. It was my baby, and then I decided to pick it up and give it more love. And music always makes me feel very good. So when I'm doing that, I'm always having a good time. The isolation, I think it helped me slow down, and I've had a professional journey, so to speak. So I've looked back at my career and what I want to do and what I'm really good at, and what I want to do with the future. So I didn't have the time to do that or the resources. So now I've been job searching. Oh, and another fun thing that I started doing that I'm very proud of, I started a new segment on KZSU. So I don't just have the radio show. So now we do a new segment on labor news, employment trends, and job searching tips and advice. So it's a 4-minute, and I found a partner through my job search group, ProMatch. I found a partner. And so now we're doing it together, and we're having so much fun. And now we're talking about maybe expanding it, having the short segment, which becomes a podcast once it broadcasts. So it broadcasts 4 times on Tuesdays. It's called the Carla and Carly.
Oh, that's so cool. And you have years of experience as a recruiter, huh?
Yeah.
So you're turning your 2 passions into one product. You've been 19 years on the radio and many years as a recruiter, and here's a recruiting show.
And I've done career coaching. I love to write resumes. So I've done a lot of resume writing. So yeah,
and that's live on also, like, not live, but on KZSU 90.1 FM down in Stanford. Where
9, 12, and 5.
9, 12, and 5 p.m.
on Tuesday. So I'm on a lot on KZSU on Tuesdays.
That's cool. Well, we gotta speaking of a lot, there's something that we do not have a lot, and that's time. It's incredible how we get together here and we start chatting, saying hi to our friends, and then an hour is gone. It's now 5:51, and we have to get close to closing. I'm gonna release this next track here, DJ Dolores, which is also very present in your show, huh? Tell me a bit about DJ Dolores.
The same line of Uproot Andy, DJ Dolores. You think it's a girl, but it's a guy. But he's from the northeast of Brazil. He's from Recife, so he does the same thing. He takes the authentic, more folkloric, traditional music of that region, and he makes it into a more contemporary electronic mix.
Yeah, no, he's all over the place. He's based in London now. He's the European Brazilian DJ to go see.
DJs that are very popular, but they're not so popular with their own people. I think DJ Dolores might be one of those. Like, non-Brazilians love him more than Brazilians. Wouldn't you say?
Yes, and I would risk saying that Brazilian mainstream media has suffocated Brazilian audiences so much that there's no space. So it's really important. And now in this a time and age where we have the ability of search for other channels and go look for underground music, collaborate with DJs and producers and folks that became almost like the curators of the underground online music world, I really hope that shows like mine and yours open up a new opportunity for folks to listen to other Brazilian sounds than the ones we're so used to, right?
Yeah.
With that being said,
I mentioned too that the sound that we played by Nation Beats before, I don't think we said it, but it was a ciranda. So a ciranda is not something that you listen to on the radio traditionally.
Never. Let me play this one, DJ Dolores, and we'll be right back to say goodbye in a few minutes. Carla Leininger. Global Ginga KZSU 90.1 FM in Stanford.
E pra entrar no seu mundo só tem anel de prata, transilim de marfim. Pra saber da hora exata de embarcar vagabundo. E pra entrar no seu mundo só tem anel de prata e transilim de marfim. É quarta-feira, vamos comemorar. A terra santa não caiu, não tem ninguém pra comprar o transilim de marfim. É quarta-feira, vamos comemorar. A terra santa não caiu, não tem ninguém pra comprar o transilim de marfim. E pra entrar no seu mundo só tem anel de prata e transilim de marfim. É quarta-feira.
It's indeed quarta-feira. Vamos comemorar. As said in this song here by DJ Dolores, it is Wednesday. It is Wednesday now, 5:57 Pacific time, and we're here with Carla Leininger from Global Ginga 90.1 FM in Stanford. Carla,
So what
chegou.
was everybody's favorite? Can I ask a question? What was your favorite song, everybody?
Let's see. Well, I have to say hi here to Daniela Braga, and she sends beijos de San Antonio, Texas. O meu amigão Júlio. What's that?
That's my cousin, I think.
Ela é, eu acho que se você compartilhou na sua página, é ela mesmo, gente. Júlio César Galvão de Guaratinguetá, Chico Coelho de Piracicaba, Luiz Carlos Silva e a galera do Brasil que prestigia, senhor Alex Calatayud, que aparece dizer um oi, Lilian Pulga, lembrando a todos que esse show não seria possível sem o patrocínio de Brasil Best Magazine. Brasilbest.com é o canal para você obter mais informações a respeito da comunidade brasileira aqui em San Francisco, na Califórnia. Carlinha, conta pra gente aí. Obrigado isso é maravilhoso. Eu tô aqui, me divirto pra caramba.
O que você ia falar? Você fala, conta pra gente.
Eu ia falar pra você começar a fazer os ritos finais aqui. We gotta start saying goodbyes.
Okay. Well then, 58. I hope everybody enjoyed. So we heard Matuto, Nation Beat, Uproot Andy, DJ Dolores, and I forgot who we opened with. But
we opened with Music Is My Ammunition by Afro Fiesta.
Afro Fiesta. Yeah, so follow me, come along. I love to have you. Like I said, I think Global Ginga is a communication channel of the Brazilian world community. And I love to play music. I don't know all the music. It's really hard for me to do the research. But
is there anyone that knows all the music?
Yeah, if you want to come and help, we curate and we try to surface music that you don't typically hear in other channels. So we try to be that source of new music for you.
Carlinha, thank you so much.
No walls, no borders.
Yeah, I'm super stoked that you're living in the Bay and that Global Ginga is representing Brazilian music down there in Stanford. And hopefully I'll be seeing you sooner than later.
At another show.
Yeah, valeu, Carlinha. Beijão. Vou fechar o programa. We're gonna close with more DJ Dolores. And I'll see you next time. Tamo junto, SF. Simbora. Tchau, Carlinha. Beijão. All right, folks. That's it. This Sunday, I interview Erica Erickson. Uma boa quarta-feira pra todo mundo, hein? É quarta-feira. Valeu, galera. Um grande beijo a todos. Fiquem bem, se cuidem e não pega Covid não, hein, cara. Pelo amor de Deus. Ou se pegar, fique em casa.